Are you feeling confused, uninformed about games? Ask your doctor if gaming news is right for you. But do it quick because it's starting. Indie publisher Humble Games has laid off its entire staff, and former employees are reporting they were told the company is shutting down. Now, this has surprised many indie devs who worked with the publisher, like the team behind Signalis. I should know how to say that, I played it. But perhaps no one is more in shock than Humble Games itself, who issued a statement on Twitter that this is actually a restructuring. Is that the word for going from a structure to zero structure? And we're not the only ones to have issue with this phrasing. Former Humble creative lead Chris Radley blasted the statement and accused it of being written by an AI. Radley also argued the company is shutting down, with all of Humble Games' operations being handed over to a third-party consultancy. Oh, geez. Humble, of course, felt obligated to respond to such accusations, and so they released a statement vehemently denying that they used AI to write their statement and saying they will comment no further.
I will say nothing more.
Is that the succulent Chinese meal guy?
Get your hands off my statement.
They probably didn't want to say anything else because Aftermath obtained a recording of the meeting where Steve Horowitz, president of Humble Games' parent company, Ziff Davis, told all employees they'd be laid off and all projects would be handled by a third party. Horowitz was very careful to call it a restructuring in that meeting, though, so good for him. Keep the story consistent. There's no AIs in the room, at least. Roblox has been accused of not doing enough to protect the kids that make up a significant chunk of the game's user base. A massive investigation by Bloomberg states that Roblox reported over 13,000 incidents of child exploitation to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children last year. That's up from only 3,000 incidents the year before. Seems weird to say only in front of that. I'm sorry. The Bloomberg report also alleges that Roblox only has 3,000 moderators to handle its 77 million daily users. Now, for some perspective, TikTok has 3 times the number of daily users Roblox has, and has more than 10 times the number of moderators. And it's not exactly a bastion of child safety either. And these incidents aren't just confined to the platform. Since 2018, at least 24 people have been arrested for allegedly abducting or abusing children they met through Roblox. Employees at the company say they're overwhelmed with reports, and the AI that Roblox is increasingly relying on for moderation isn't able to detect subtle signs of grooming. Staff have also claimed that additional features that could help mitigate risk have been rejected. Roblox's chief safety officer, Matt Kaufman, released a statement stating how much they already do for child safety, but maybe do more.
We're already doing so much.
Why not? World of Warcraft is preparing for its upcoming The War Within expansion, as the game's pre-expansion patch went live yesterday. The update has brought some exciting new features, but also some weird bugs. For starters, there's the highly anticipated warbands feature, which makes a lot of the in-game progression systems account-wide rather than specific to each character. Your characters can now share a bank account, even if one of you is a Filthy Alliance bootlicker. In addition, the majority of flying mounts can now be flown dynamically and more quickly instead of more passive steady flight, which was introduced in the MMO's first expansion. But as we alluded to earlier, it's not all good news. There's a laundry list of known issues with the patch, but none are perhaps as strange as new characters popping up in some players' accounts. Some users are claiming characters they've never created are suddenly appearing, while others are saying that their previously deleted characters are being brought back from the dead by some foul necromancy. And yet, none of Azeroth's many necromancers are seemingly responsible. They're all on vacation? What are the chances? Unfortunately, since the MMO's map has gone through some altitude changes, some of those newly revivified characters are falling to their deaths from outposts that no longer exist. Bad news for them, but good news for the natural order. This is wrong. You should not exist. And I've got even better news, courtesy of our sponsor, iFixit. You know what they're all about by now, but if you don't, they offer comprehensive guides, replacement parts, and high-quality tools, all to help you fix your broken electronics. iFixit. Do you see it? It's incredibly obvious. Announcement! For 48 hours after the release of this video, you can save $10 on orders of $50 or more. It's a great time to pick up a high quality driver kit, like the 64-bit Mako kit or the comprehensive 112-bit Manta driver kit. So act quick! Head to our link in the description and use code GLFIX to get your discount today. Oh, look out! Here comes the quick bits! Are you, what? Did they get you? Another Microsoft-owned studio has formed a groundbreaking union. More than 500 Blizzard employees who work on WoW have formed the World of Warcraft Gamemakers Guild, which is a much cooler word than union because it makes me think of a grizzled old blacksmith with a hammer for a hand. Yeah, protect workers' rights. That's what he says.
Don't forget to pay your dues.
Like the one formed at Bethesda Game Studios last week, this is a wall-to-wall union since it includes workers from every department. Design, production, the archive of not actually deleted characters, all of them.
Enchantments, blacksmithing.
As we mentioned on Tuesday, unionizing could allow game workers to negotiate protection from AI coming to take their jobs, something that Wired has reported is already happening at Activision Blizzard itself. After, quote, a lot of 2D artists were laid off, remaining staff were told to sign up for AI tool training sessions, which apparently led to at least one AI-generated cosmetic being sold in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3's store. And while it's believed that the asset in question was part of the Yokai's Wrath bundle, it's not clear how AI was used or which asset we're talking about specifically, but it's in there, and it ain't right. Fallout London, the long-awaited 65 gigabyte Fallout 4 mod, has finally launched and is available for free on both Steam and Good Old Games. Notably, a major factor in the delayed launch was an unexpected official update, meaning that players will have to download a pre-patch version in order to play until the devs release a new launcher. Unlike official entries in the series, Fallout London dares to ask the question, how did the end of the world affect those other parts of the world that aren't America? You know, they said the sun would never set on the British Empire, but it turns out that light on the horizon wasn't a sun at all. It's a bomb.
Nukes.
The International Olympic Committee has voted to hold the first official Olympic Esports Games, to be held in 2025 in Saudi Arabia, a country that is as synonymous with professional gaming as it is with torturing journalists. While obviously a big step towards legitimizing esports in the mainstream, don't expect to see much of the usual suspects like Counter-Strike and Dota. The committee has already decided to exclude first-person shooters from next year's competition, in part because they're considered too violent. However, some of the titles approved so far include League of Legends, Rocket League, and Tekken. You know, the game about defeating generational trauma by beating the snot out of your grandpa.
And dropping kids in lava.
And sci-fi MMO Warframe has released a gameplay demo for its upcoming 1999 expansion, which is expected to launch sometime this winter. Beyond being about 25 years late, the expansion will apparently include a Baldur's Gate 3 inspired romance system. Okay. Fitting with the late 90s theme, players will have the option of bonding with NPCs over an in-universe version of AOL chat. That's amazing. Because nothing's hotter than late speak and frosted tips. The demo ends with a boss battle against a sadly fictional boy band. I didn't know about this when I started reading this, but I'm sold. Digital Extremes was apparently unable to secure the rights that would have allowed players to fight a ramen-haired Justin Timberlake over the fate of humanity. And you should come back next Tuesday for more gaming news, but for now, it's bye-bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye, bye, bye.